I'm a lifelong voter, and there's several reasons why, more than several probably, but the ones that come to mind are have to do with my family. Like many people who've been interviewed for this series, I think it's just been baked into my upbringing that voting is the thing that you do. The story goes in our family that there were only, in addition to Sunday, there were only two other days that on the farm in which voting stopped, in which work stopped. One was Christmas Day, and the other was Election Day, so that Mama could get dressed up, go to town, and vote, no matter what else was going on around her. That was her day, and she took it every single election day. I also think about other history that I've lived through. I know about the citizenship schools that were held throughout the South in the 50s, sort of precursors to the civil rights movement. I think about those women who led the citizenship schools where blacks were given the literacy and citizenship skills that they needed to pass the test that was often enacted by white registrars in voting precincts throughout the South as a barrier to voting. I think about the 1965 Voting Rights Act, which was enacted to do away with some of those barriers. But I also know that here in 2020, there are many barriers to people voting, and I think we have the responsibility to ask who doesn't vote, who's prevented from voting, who can't vote, and why. So also my thinking about voting is informed by some research that I was involved in back 20, 25 years ago in cooperation with the National Institute for Literacy. We interviewed people all over the country and from a variety of backgrounds, and we distilled our lessons into four main activities. And we did this so that we could teach the underlying skills that were inherent in these activities. Forming an opinion, doing the research that it takes to know what you think and why. The second one was expressing those opinions and ideas, either individually or with other people, using your voice. The third was working with other people to achieve a common purpose. And the fourth was taking some concrete action to strengthen a community. Could be as an individual, but most often people said it was working in concert with other people. Voting is a fundamental right. It's foundational to a democracy, but it's not the end point. Voting is the entree into other activities, and those activities can also lead up to a stronger voting population. So we have the responsibility not just to vote, but to be informed, to advocate and educate others, to expect accountability from our elected officials, and to work with other people to strengthen whatever community that we live in. My name is Brenda Bell. I'm committed to a fair and just society for all people, and I vote.